Are you a professional struggling to improve your performance at work? Or are you looking for ways in which you can actually improve your performance and gain better opportunities at your workplace? Well, you are in luck. In this video, I'm mainly focused on providing you with 10 tips that you can use to improve your overall performance so that you can position yourself as an individual for all of the great opportunities that are available in your workplace. Hello, my name is Patrina. I am passionate about helping people be able to navigate the Canadian working environment by providing them with tips and strategies that can enable them to get the amazing role that they're looking for, as well as providing them with strategies that they can use to improve their overall job situation here in Canada. If you are new here, welcome. I'm excited to have you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Then again, if you're brand new here and it's your very first time, thank you for watching. Please do me a big favor, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that you will be notified anytime that we have new videos that will be popping up for you. So as I said, let's get into it. So when we think about it, working in the working environment, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. One of the most important things you need to think about is how can you improve your overall performance. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 10 ways that you can improve your performance overall. So let me get started. In the first instance, one of the things that you need to consider when it comes to improving your job, prospects, and performance is setting key milestones. And when I'm talking about milestones, I'm talking about things that you want to achieve in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And these milestones should be things that will enable you to provide amazing, that can set you up for success. These could be milestones that are set by your job. These could be milestones that are set by your employer. These are milestones that you're set professionally for what you want to achieve, maybe certifications, maybe you want to take a course, maybe you want to get to the next level in your career, and so you're thinking about how best you can do that. So it's really important to set milestones. So these are things that you're working towards. The second thing I want to talk to you about is setting clear, time-bound, SMART goals. So these goals are things that you are talking about achieving things in the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and these are things that you're trying to, as much as possible, to make specific in terms of what you want to do, measurable in terms of you want to quantify it and be able to measure it over time to see how you're tracking and progressing towards it. And then achievable, something that you can do within the time frame that you're setting, and time-bound in terms of giving yourself a timeline that you're working towards. The third point that I want to talk to you about is that it's really important to reduce multitasking. Why do I say that? I say that it's important to take away distractions because we have somehow bought into the lie that multitasking will make us more efficient. But overall, what ends up happening is that if you're trying to do 3 or 4 different tasks at once, you're not going to be able to complete them to a high quality, right? So it's really recommended that you try as much as possible to break up your tasks and you work on individual work, one at a time, put in all of your energy, get it done, and then you can move on to the next task. What that does is it allows you to focus on being able to get all of your attention on one specific task and energy, and you actually finish it much faster than if you're working on 4 different things and having to mentally switch between one task to another. So try as much as possible, if you want to improve your performance, to reduce all forms of multitasking. This leads me to the fourth point, which is to try and prioritize and plan your work so that you're able to keep track of your work. You're able, maybe one activity you can do is maybe on a Sunday before the week starts, you look at your calendar, you identify the key things that you need to do, any meetings or any documentation or any artifacts that you need to get in place, put it all together, and then you plan out a strategy of what you're going to do throughout the week, right? So planning your tasks, prioritizing urgent tasks and important tasks first is really great. And then also you want to try as much as possible to make sure that you're also incorporating things that are part of your goals and your milestones so that you're constantly seeing them and working towards achieving them. So prioritizing your work, planning your work will really set you up for success and improve your performance at work. The fifth point I want to highlight is working on improving your communication skills. So communication is nonverbal in terms of 80% of our communication is nonverbal. What does that mean? That means that 80% of the time when we're communicating through our body, through our facial expressions, through our posture, through our attitudes. It kind of emanates and comes out. And so nonverbal communication is a very key one, as well as our oral communication, being able to speak clearly, be understood, use the language that your colleagues and your customers and your key vendors are using, understanding the terminology. And then also your written communication is very important. Being able to make sure that you're using clear, direct communication is important, and that will enable you to make sure that other people are able to understand you, they feel comfortable around you, and they're able to work effectively with you on any types of projects. They're excited to actually work with you. So communication, the fifth point is communication. Improving it over time will really help give you confidence and move you towards improving your performance at work. So that's a great tip. And some things that you can do is practice, maybe sometimes script what you want to say, practice it, make any changes or adaptations as you need. And then also when it comes to your written work, try as much as possible to give yourself enough time. Start the work early, review the drafts, leave it, go do something else, and then come back and edit your work to make sure that you're paying attention to the details, you're identifying your audience, and then you're transforming your communication to adapt to the different audiences. Paying attention to your communication on all levels in terms of your nonverbal as well as your verbal communication and also your written communication will really set you apart and help you work towards your goals and your milestones. The sixth point I want to talk to you about is trying as much as possible to build up a really great work-life balance. So what do I mean by that? It's really important to take time to rest, take time to maybe plan out some fun activities during the day or during the week as you're going through. When you've identified your goals, which we've talked about, and the key milestones you need to achieve, working towards a work-life balance is also important to give you time to rest, to give you time and opportunities to network with people, to gain new skills, maybe take a course, or maybe plan a fun vacation, or try maybe to get a massage. Sometimes you need it so you can release the stress that you would have in your body, and you need it in order to try as much as possible to build up your work-life balance. So also work-life balance means trying as much as possible to prioritize your work during the week, achieving all of your tasks during your working hours, and then having your evenings and weekends to be free to do other activities. The seventh point that I want to talk to you about has to do with reducing every form of distractions. Distractions cause you to not be focused. And what are some types of distractions when it comes to the workplace? Office gossip, listening to the grapevine, having conversations that are not appropriate. Also, maybe being on your phone during the working hours can be taking away from your work and then also distracting you from your key tasks, as well as the things that you need to achieve. So try as much as possible to remove all forms of distraction. If people are talking and you don't want to be a part of it, just excuse yourself and continue on and go and work towards the tasks that you need to be working on. The eighth thing I want to talk to you about improving your performance has to do with making sure you have the right tools to do your work. What does that mean? That means investing in having a good computer. Speak to your IT team and find out when you can get a new computer if you realize your computer is slowing down or you're having it crashing all of the time. Make sure that you indicate that to your supervisor and then also your IT department. And any types of software that you might need to do your job, put in a request with your supervisor so that you can work towards getting that, right? So try as much as possible to make sure you have all of the tools that you need in order to be successful, be it planning tools using calendars or project management tools or collaboration tools so that you can do the best work. The ninth point that I have for you today, thank you for staying, has to do with decluttering your space. What is one of the key benefits? When you have a well-organized desk space and everything is clean and tidy and you know where everything is, this will allow you to be thinking very clearly, and this will allow you to focus on your high priority items, and it will also avoid the potential of maybe having some spills or making your working environment very messy. So try as much as possible to plan out your work at the beginning of the day, and then by the end of the day, close out, clean up everything, put everything in the trash, clean up your area so it's tidy for the next day, and have your prioritized list of items of what you're going to be working on in the very next day as well. The 10th point that I want to bring to you today has to do with trying to prioritize your mental and your physical as well as emotional health. Why? Because if you're able to make sure that you are taking care of yourself physically, you have energy and stamina, you're able to manage all of the activities that you need to do during the week. And then also emotionally, strengthening yourself is making sure that you don't take more than you can chew. And then also making sure that you have all of the support that you need in order to be successful in the work environment. So if this means that you need to speak to a counselor or therapist about maybe some of the work-life challenges that you have, check and see if your office offers any of those services. Also, there are lots of services within whatever community you're part of that will help support you on that journey. So try as much as possible. Don't be shy. Try as much as possible to get access to all of the resources that you will need in order to be successful. So in conclusion, I'm so grateful that you've been with me for all of these points, and I believe that these 10 points are really going to help you. So I'm going to start from the top, just quickly summarize. I spoke about number 1, making sure that you identify your key milestones that you need to achieve in your career so that you have some targets to work towards. The second point was trying to create a smart, achievable goals that you can help use you towards working to achieve those milestones. The third point I talked about is reduce multitasking. Focus on one task, put in all of your energy, get that done, and then move on to the next task to be a better performer at work. The fourth point that I had talked about was taking time to plan out your work and prioritize high priority urgent items first, and also improve and giving some time for you to self-develop. The fifth point that I talked about has to do with improving your overall communication skills verbally, non-verbally, as well as in your written communication. The sixth point I talked about has to do with trying as much as possible to build out a good work-life balance. What does that mean? That means that you take time to plan out your work. You take time to make sure you've planned out all of your work that you need to do, and then ensuring that you have time in the evenings and weekends to take care of yourself, and also maybe planning vacation or massages as you go through. The seventh point had to do with reducing all forms of distractions, such as gossip, being on your phone, things that are really unproductive and things that won't help you in the working place. The eighth point I spoke about has to do with you making sure that you have all of the tools that can help you do your job on a day-to-day basis, and making sure that you have the right tools, software tools, hardware tools, and any subscriptions that you might need to do your job. The eighth point has to do with organizing and decluttering your workspace and making sure that it's clean and tidy and you're able to do your work. And the 10th point that I spoke about is the importance of you prioritizing your mental health. It is so important and critical and something that you need to consider. And that includes things like having a balanced diet, sleeping regularly, and taking care of yourself. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to be notified when we get new videos. I would really love it in the comment section if you comment down below if any of the tips that I've provided you for improving your performance, have you ever used any of them before? If they have, how have they helped you? I would love to learn. And if you have any tips that I haven't mentioned, please put it down below and we'll probably talk about it in a future video. Thank you. Have a great day.